Sorry for the little break. So we'll continue. Musical notation. Musical notation is the method by which sounds are shown on paper. Sounds in music are represented by signs, or as well notes, which not only indicate their duration or length, but their pitch as well. Pitch has earlier been described as the highness or lowness of a musical sound. These sounds can then be sung or played on a musical instrument. Sounds that are shown on paper, we use notes, and those notes that we use to show those sounds have specific durations, they have specific lengths, and as well as they have specific durations and lengths, it corresponds with the timing of everything that we are doing in writing music. Although musical sounds cover a wide range, only 7 letters are used. Those 7 letters are the first 7 alphabets, which are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. These are the alphabets we use. These 7 letters define the prominent musical sounds, and they are repeated over and over continuously. These 7 alphabets, both in playing, that is, in playing keyboard, those are the 7 alphabets that are found on keyboard. So they are repeated continuously. We have what is called stave. This is a horizontal line arrangement of 5 lines and 4 spaces. That is, a stave is a horizontal 5 lines, or arrangement of 5 lines, and 4 spaces rather, and 4 spaces, horizontal 5 lines and 4 spaces, on which music is written. So that is what a stave is called. The word stave is actually nominal, that is in noun form, while the word staff is adjectival, adjective form, as in staff notation.
Okay, sorry, what that means is that the name of these 5 lines and 4 spaces is stave. The name is not staff, because we hear some musicians say it is staff.
Okay.
It is not staff. The name, as per the noun, is stave. But when you now want to refer to it in line with some other terminologies, in the adjective form, you can now say staff. So the word stave is a noun, but the word staff is an adjective. So everywhere you are being asked about what this means, is a stave, not a staff. So you don't go and say it's a staff. This is a staff. It's a stave. That's the nominal name. Okay, so and we understand that the lowest line is the line 1. The lowest line is line 1, followed by the next line as line 2, the next line 3, the next one line 4, line 5. So the assumption is to think that this upper line is the uppermost line is the line 1. No, it's the lowest line that is the line 1. Same thing, the lowest space is the space 1, and you count upward.
Okay. So the letter sounds, what I mean by the letter sounds are those alphabets. The letter sounds are pitched or positioned on the stave and are fixed there. That is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They are positioned on the stave and they are fixed. They are fixed. So the musical notes are used to pitch the letter sounds on the stave. The musical notes that we have are the ones we mentioned earlier, we have crotchets, quavers. All those notes are used to pitch the later sounds on the stave. In both lines and spaces are utilized. That is, we make use of both the lines and spaces for this purpose in pitching the notes on the stave. So the higher the notes are on the stave, the higher their pitch. I'm sure the pitch have been described earlier.
Yes.
Okay, so the pitch has been described. So this implies that a note on line 3 is higher in pitch than a note on line 2 or space 1. Since we know that the line 3 is higher, that is why the note on line 3 will be higher than the one in line 2 or the space 1. So we also have clef. The clef is used to pitch the later sounds on the stave. The clef is used to pitch the later sounds on the stave. The stave is meaningless without a clef. That is, the presence of a particular clef determines the later names of the lines and spaces of that stave. We have we have 5 lines and 4 spaces. That stave will be meaningless. We cannot say that it is a treble stave or it is a bass stave. So the presence of clef on a stave is what now tells us the particular stave it is, whether it is treble stave or bass stave, and that will now help us to know the lines and spaces, the later names where they are found, because the later names of the treble stave is different from the later names of the bass stave. So there are many types of clefs. Treble clef, bass clef, C clef, tenor, and alto as well. The first 2 are mostly used in singing and playing piano. The C clefs are used by some other instruments. Only the treble and bass clefs will be used in this book. So, treble clef. The treble clef. The presence of the treble clef on the stave makes the treble stiff, as I have described earlier. So, the presence of the clef on a stave, that is the treble clef, GG clef, that is what makes us to understand that that stave is a treble stave. So,
this is just about how to learn to write the stave for those writing music exams. There are about 3 steps which you can read up. So how to write the clef, the treble clef. So you can read up that. Continue.
Okay. So on the treble stave, why we call it treble stave is because we can now find the presence of the clef on the stave. So it is now the treble stave. The later sounds assume the following pitches or positions. The later sounds. So the first line on the treble stave, the letter attached to that line is letter E, and it is fixed. It is fixed. There is no other letter that can take the position. There is no other letter sound that can take that position except that letter E on the treble stave. So E is the first line. Then the line 2, the letter sound is G. While the line 3 is B, line 4 is D, and line 5 is F. The same goes to space 1, which is F, space 2, which is A, space 3, which is C, and space 4, which is E. Reminding us that we have only 5 lines and 4 spaces as well. So, as I have described, there is what we use to recollect these later notes on the treble stave, and they are, anyone can actually program, or let me say design however they want to use to remember it. This is not really, it may not really be how everybody may really describe it. But based on this book, we have decided to use this for it. Lines, the lines of the treble stave, the memory aid for the lines of the treble stave is every good boy deserves favor. That is, we have line 1 as E, which is every. E, every. So we pick the first letter. Line 2, good, which is line 2, we have G. So every good boy deserves favor, just like that. So the same is applicable to the spaces as well. Face, favor always come easy. So that is the lines and spaces of the treble stave. The memory aid is every good boy deserves favor, while the memory aid for the spaces is favor always comes easy. You may then recall the name of space 3 by spelling out, that is space 3, we have F-A-C-E. If we want to remember it, we can easily say favor always comes, that is, it is C. That is, if I ask someone what is the letter name of the third space of the treble stave, if the person wants to remember it easily, the person can easily say, with the understanding of the memory aid, if they know it, the person can easily say favor always comes. The person will just pick the first letter there, which is C of that word, which is C. Favor always comes. So it is C. I'm picking out the third letter similarly. You can recall the name of the line 2 as G by reciting the phrase, every good boy deserves favor. So the bass clef, a stave containing the bass clef is called the bass stave. A stave, let's remember that the stave is just 5 lines and 4 spaces. So a stave containing the bass clef is called the bass stave. It is also called F clef because the writing starts on the F line, which is at the 4th line of the bass stave. So let's not also forget the treble stave as well. Why the sign, why we call it also G clef, is because also the drawing of the clef, okay, the writing of the clef start from the line 2, which is the letter G. That is the position of the letter G on the treble stave. So that is why it is also called G clef. So I don't know if you have more explanation to give on that, sir.
Nothing much. It's still on the how to write the bass clef. In case you're writing a music exam, um, sorry, it's gone fast. Further is the description. How to write the bass clef. You can find it here. So there are about 2 steps involved, and so you can always read up that yourself. And of course, the memory aid, like okay, you've not talked about the bass clef now.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Okay. Let's continue with the bass stave, as we have described the one of the treble stave as well. So on the bass stave, the names of the lines and spaces are still different. They are still different from the one of the treble stave. So the first line of the bass stave is G, second line B, third line D, fourth line F, and the fifth line A. Then the spaces, first space is A, second space C, third space E, and fourth space is G. So the memory aid, likewise, the memory aid is good boy deserves favor always. Good boy deserves favor always. So the spaces, all cow eats grass. So you may then record the name of the space 2 as C by reciting the phrase all cow. So you pick the letter C. Similarly, you can record the name of line 4 as F by reciting the phrase good boy deserves favor. So you pick the letter F. Both staves bracketed. Both stave, treble stave, bass stave, bracketed, is called the great stave. It's called the great stave. In piano music, in piano music, the 2 staves are put together, being joined by a line and a bracket. So each staves are being put together, being joined by a line or a bracket, which is called brace. The combination of the treble and bass stave is known as the great stave in music theory. It is on the great stave that most four-part songs, like anthems, hymns, etc., are written. So they are written on the great staves. So the soprano and alto parts are written on the treble stave, while the tenor and bass parts are written on the treble stave. So we can see the example, rather on the bass stave rather. So the bass, the tenor and the bass part are written on the bass stave.
Okay, so this is a great stave joined by a brace. Okay, this is a brace, and then we have the treble stave up, the bass stave down, and the names of the lines and spaces have been enumerated, where you have G as line 1, the space as A, that's space 1, line 2 is B, space 2 C, line 3 D, space 4, space 3 E, and so on. Then we come here, line 1 is E, space 1 is F, line 2 is G, space 2 is A, and so on up to line 5, that is F also. So we said the letter names are repeated continuously, and that is exactly what's happening. The letter names are repeated continuously. So when you get to G, you start all over from A. You run it A to G, you come over again from A. There's no H, there's no I, there's no J. It's A to G only. Okay. Okay, well, we discovered that A is the last note here on the bass stave, and E is the first note on the treble stave. So the question is, where is B, where is C, where is D? Okay. So we can place a note on top of the line 5, and that will become B. Now we can see that here we have replaced, or we now use note values to represent the letter sound. Okay, instead of writing the letter sound raw, instead of writing them raw on the lines and spaces, the note values are used. And as Brochisom said earlier, each note values give two information: the letter name or the letter sound, as well as the duration. So this is a semi-brief that is on space 4 of the bass stave, which means that this is a G sound for 4 counts. G sound, 4 counts. A, letter sound A, 4 counts. Letter sound B, 4 counts. Then we said earlier on that the first note on the treble stave is E. Okay? But then there's a D just before E, which is below or underneath the treble stave. The D is underneath the treble stave. It's not on the line. E is on the line. As you can see, the line cuts through the notes. But D is just underneath the treble stave. So that's where you can find D on the treble stave. Okay, so the one that is not there now is a particular sound called C. In my lecture, or in my session, I mentioned that the middle C is very important for the singer. It's a reference point for the singer, and this is where you find it on the stave. The middle C actually is in the middle of the treble and the bass stave. In fact, the middle C is the center of the human voice. It's the middle sound in the human voice range. If you pick the lowest sound that human beings can ever produce, and you pick the highest sound that human beings can ever produce, that's a range of sound. Okay, the middle sound is the middle C. It's a naturally occurring situation. Okay, it wasn't invented by mankind. So the middle sound that humanity can produce, the center, the median in statistics is called the median. The median sound, okay, for human beings is the middle C. And on the stave, we can find it in between the treble and the bass stave. That's where you can find the middle C. And it's on the short line called ledger lines. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. The ledger line, we can see it is used to pitch the middle C at the center of the treble stave and the bass stave. So the middle C is not written exactly midway between the two staves, but as a note attached either to the bass stave or to the treble stave. So the bow stave have the right to that middle C, to the middle C itself. So the bow stave have the right to the middle C. So if we decide to draw the staves separately, the treble stave will possess the middle C, while the bass stave as well will have the middle C.
Okay, so let me just come here. I think this is also for music theorists. As singers, it may not be too specific for us. Okay, where the how the middle C can occur. It's for the music theorist how to place it here or there. Just the additional thing about ledger lines is that ledger lines are short lines written above the stave or below the stave to pitch other sounds that are not found in the stave. I repeat, ledger lines are short lines, okay, written above the stave or below the stave to pitch, that's to position other sounds that are not found on the stave or in the stave. Okay, so because if you count all the sounds in this stave, if you count the lines and spaces, I think they're just about 18. 5 plus 4 here is 5 lines plus 4 lines, 4 spaces is 9.
It's 9.
Then go to the bass stave, 5 lines plus 4 spaces is another 9. 9 plus 9, 18.
It's 18.
Whereas the human voice can produce maybe up to 30, 40, 50 voices, as in combination of humanity, I mean now.
Okay.
We can produce up to 30 or 40 sounds. So where are the remaining sounds that are not, that the stave cannot capture, or that is not captured in the stave? Ledger lines are used to describe those or to pitch those sounds. So like you can find in a gray stave as such, you can find this kind of gray stave. You discover that these are all ledger lines that are used to pitch sounds. So this ledger line, this is the middle C here, just below the treble stave or just above the treble stave. That's what the broadcast is saying, that any of the stave can share it. But then this A we have here now, there is 2 ledger lines below the treble stave. It's actually the same thing as the line 5 of the bass stave. And the E you have here, that is 2 ledger lines above the bass stave. It's actually the line 1 of the treble stave. So like I said, this is mostly applicable to the music theorists, those who are writing theory and music theory exams. And also the issue of octava is a music term, okay, which is abbreviated this way, 8va. It's for the music theorists, those who write music. They use that to guide themselves. Of course, after this general class, as many of us who aspire to go beyond the basic levels, we can also design programs that will aid us to be music theorists. In fact, maybe to write exams and become a certified music theorist or instrumentalist. These are all music theory terms for the music theorist. So we will just go to this illustration. This is a sample hymn. We have this in our hymn now, SDH 154, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. Okay. I think it's okay, we can just answer a few questions from here. The first question is how many staves does this hymn have? 2 or 4?
It has 4. Right?
That's 4 staves, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are actually 4 staves. I hope we know there are 4 staves here. But then the second question is how many gray staves does this hymn have? So I think it's
We'll
2.
leave it for them to answer. Abi, we
Well,
should give the answers.
it's not interactive class now. It's the one-way class. So we may have to give most of the answers from here.
Okay.
Though we may not answer everything,
Yes, yes.
but really you should answer them like the instructor is saying. It's just there are 2 gray staves, but of course, which stave is the treble stave? Is it the upper or the lower stave? Let them answer that one.
Okay, sir.
If you are not sure, ask your choir master. And which stave is the bass stave? You know. How many crotchets are found on the first stave? We'll just answer this one and then we'll move to something else. Okay. How many crotchets are found on the first stave? Let's count together. Remember, a crotchet is a black note with a stem. That's a crotchet.
Yes.
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 crotchets on stave 1.
So, but what about we have 2 voices on the stave and we have 2 crotchets they are joined together.
Yes, these are 2-headed crotchets.
Okay.
Like the cartoon Simba the Sailor, where I counted a 7-headed monster. So this is a 2-headed. This is a 2-headed crotchet. Well, there's a tendency to think that this is 2 crotchets. This is actually not 2 crotchets.
Yes.
This is 1 crotchet,
Yes.
but it has 2 heads. The first head, or that's the black head.
Yes.
It's on space 1, and the second head is on middle C. That's a ledger line here. This is also a 2-headed crotchet. Actually, this is a soprano part. This is alto part. You come here. This is the upper head, or the upper notes. The right term is notes. The upper note is for tenor, while the lower note is for a bass. So you can take more time and look through other details here. And the last one says that ignoring the key signature and time signature as dental signs, identify the letter names of the notes. Okay, we should just identify a few of the letter names.
Okay. Sir.
Let's try identifying some letter names for the soprano part and for the bass part.
Okay.
So how do you identify the letter names of these notes? Starting with the first one, you ask, where is it pitched?
Of course.
Okay, where is it pitched? And then you find out this is on space 1.
Space 1.
Is a treble stave.
Yes.
Or a treble clef. So the treble stave. So what's the letter name of space 1?
Okay. I will start by making use of the memory aid that we have. So if I want to find the letter name of the first note there, I will start by using the memory aid, which is favor. Favor. So the first line, the note there in the first place of treble stave is F, sir.
F. Very good. So okay, let's just jump up here. So what would be this lower notes? The lower note, what's his pitch?
So the memory aid is every good. So the letter is G.
Yes, because it's on line 2.
Yes, it's on line 2.
Okay, we come to the bass stave. Oh, I should have mentioned bass stave.
Okay.
We come here, and then we ask, what note is this?
So we have the memory aid that good boy deserves favor. So we have it as I'll pick the F out of that favor.
So that's
so it's
F.
Yes.
Then or let's say sadly, unfortunately, you can't use memory aid for this note up here.
Okay.
So how do you find the
Okay.
name of this one?
Well, I know that the line below that note is the middle C.
Okay.
It is the middle C. So though it is not we use the ledger line. We draw it there, but there is no note on it. So above that line, the next one is D. So after that D, we have the first line, which is E. So the letter name of that note is D.
Is D.
Yes.
So because just above the middle C.
The middle C.
And you can see all these are all middle C. These are all middle C. And then just transcribing hymns are quite simpler. If you notice, almost all the sounds are just within the same range, the same set of notes. You can see this is a
Yes.
3 times. So they're just all around each other. I think it's a pretty simple hymn to transcribe. But that's what we can use to learn it. Okay. Should we talk about this? Well, this is mostly
yes, I think it's necessary.
okay. Well, this is a 7 octave keyboard. How do you know it's 7 octave? I think we didn't. I think octave was discussed in chapter 5 or chapter 6, but then octave simply means from one letter sound to the next higher similar letter sound. Okay, same letter sound. So from A to A, from A to A here is 1 octave higher. This A is an octave higher than this one. Okay, octave really means 8. So this is 7 octave keyboard in the sense that there are up to 8 or 9 A's here. From here to here, 1 octave. From here to, that's from here, from this lower A to this A is 2 octaves. From this A to this A is 3 octaves. How do yeah, please come. Normally it's supposed to have appeared here, the tab. I can't find the tab here. Okay. So this keyboard is a 7 octave keyboard. Just count from here to here. You find there are about 8 A's. So which means it's a 7 octave keyboard. And this is actually the pitch of these letter sounds on the keyboard. When we talk of the middle C, where is it on piano? That's the question. Where is it on the piano? Okay, so if it's a 7 octave keyboard you have in your church, just count, think about 15 to 20 somethings white keys. You find the middle C here. Just take this, take your textbook to the piano and benchmark it, or you can ask your the local church organist to show you where the middle C is. That means wherever you find the middle C on the stave, where do you play it on the piano? Is that specific place your local church organist has described or has shown you? Okay. Let's leave you to answer these questions with your church organist. This is a 5 octave keyboard. This is what you find in many churches. 5 octave keyboard. Okay, so in this case, it might be a bit easier for you to find the middle C. Things are about 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 15, the 15th key from your left. The 15th white key note is the middle C. Okay. All right, so I think so let's just go to the next topic.
Okay, we have another topic, and it's titled music timing. We have music timing, and in music we have what is called accent. So sounds are grouped